Welcome back to another episode of Athena's Listening Crew, where we hold space for women entrepreneurs, both emotionally and physically. I'm Renee.
And I'm Lena.
Now, what do you get when you cross a former chubby kid with a former collegiate athlete, with a lesbian, a fresh Gen Y entrepreneur, and an ass-kicking trainer? You get the one and only Coach Lorena, founder of the Queer Gym. Since 2010, Lorena has shaped and evolved the Queer Gym, formerly known as the Perfect Sidekick, into something truly groundbreaking. As the country's first LGBTQIA plus gym, it was built on her own experience as a lesbian who loves fitness but was completely over all the extra bullshit she kept seeing people, especially LGBTQIA plus folks, put up with in traditional gym spaces. An athlete her entire life and the eighth of 10 kids, she knows a thing or two about building community and empowering people to take up space and take over the world.
Having helped over 10,000 clients since opening in Oakland, California, and successfully transitioning to an online platform during the pandemic, Coach Lorena's story is one of grit, heart, and showing up for your people, no matter what. And if you need a taste of what the Queer Gym is all about, just ask Coach Lorena, because what she'll tell you is if you can imagine a fitness class and a drag show having a baby, that's kind of what the workouts are like for us. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't wait for you to meet her. Reach out to us at athenaslisteningcrew at gmail.com or message us on Instagram if there are any topics you'd like for us to explore, or if you're a woman business owner interested in joining the podcast to share your journey. We hope you enjoy this episode because, yes, she
She
did
did
that.
that. Awesome. We are rolling, aren't we? Yes. All
Mhm.
right. Well, welcome, Coach Lorena. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm very excited to do this, even though I know I've interviewed you once before, but having you back on and just hearing your story again, I'm kind of excited. So,
I
yeah.
I'm
know.
definitely excited. I'm
Thank
Lena,
you.
and because I've never met you before, but I have, you know, looked you up, and you are really, really impressive. And
Thank you.
so,
Right. And, and I found her on chance Googling too, like a couple of years ago. For those who haven't heard, I interviewed her through for Body and Mind Strong, and I was just online, and I don't even know what I was Googling, and you came up, and I was like, oh, click save in this website.
my kudos to Renee for finding you and bringing you on. And so,
Yeah, Renee.
thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey.
And you are our out of stater too, so that's a really big deal for us.
Yes. So, all right. So let's just kind of start from the get-go. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that's a very broad question,
Yeah.
but what kind of brought you like a little bit of history, and then what got you set up to wanting to have your own business?
Well, I'm first gen Mexican American. I have nine siblings. My parents are still together. They're in their 80s. So I come
Wow,
from a big family. And that's unique enough. But what makes it extra unique is that we all actually really like each other.
that's
So it's
impressive.
Yes, very impressive.
yeah, we're pretty close, and basically 8 out of the 10 of us are entrepreneurs as well. My
Okay.
parents ran, my parents did the whole immigrant thing, migrated here, worked in the field, um, opened their own business, which that was all the kids' first job. Um, and so, growing up, I didn't really appreciate or understand like the, front row seat I had to entrepreneurship.
Mm,
Um, And so, yeah, that was kind of always the thing. I didn't really get the college thing till like junior high,
Hmm.
because it's funny because I had happened to have a crush on a boy who played basketball at Reese's, and so I started to play basketball. And he was like, "Are you joining this basketball league?" And I was like, "What? What's a basketball league?" And I remember I went into my parents' room Sunday before church with like a little whiteboard, and I was like, okay, so there's this basketball league, and you can take it out of my allowance, and I can take my bike to the park, and you don't have to drive me. Please play in this basketball league.
And how old were
that
you? The
yeah, that's
seventh
a great
grade?
sales pitch right there. That was
Yeah, I was in
you're already
sixth
an
grade.
entrepreneur in you.
Yeah, I was in sixth grade at the time. And it turned out that I was pretty good at it. So going into high school, they wanted me to be part of this like college prep program. And they're like, so what are you gonna do after high school? And I was like, I'm gonna go work at my parents' shop. That's like what we do.
Mm,
And
Which
they're
was,
like,
by the way, which was what? What
yeah.
business
they
did your
had a
parents have?
uh, they had an auto detail shop.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. And so the recruiter was like, well, don't you want to play basketball in college? And I was like, that's a thing? They're like, yeah, if you're really good, they'll like pay for your school and you can play on the basketball team. And I was like, oh, okay, tell me more. What is this thing about?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I ended up going to college on a basketball scholarship, with the intention to go into physical therapy. Turned out that I get really queasy around medical stuff. So ended up with a sports medicine degree back at home after college. Gained a bunch of weight after playing sports. Was also starting to appear more gay, with the shorter haircut and the looks. And that's when I realized that like my experience at the gym dramatically changed when I started to present more queer.
Mm-hmm.
And really, it was really the fact. What pissed me off was like seeing all the benefits that straight people were getting at the gym from like being more confident, more, like all
Mm.
the emotional, psychological perks, of course, physical transformations, but you just felt better.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so gay people can't access that because they don't feel comfortable coming in here. And like, if I feel shitty in here and I'm a trainer and I work here, I could just imagine how they feel, how to
Because
use
this
the
was when you were a
equipment.
trainer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
even another layer there.
yeah, so I, when I moved back home, I was overweight and I was like, well, I don't know what I want to do now for a career, but I do know that I'm like 60 pounds overweight. So I just go to the gym while I figure it out. And that's how I became a trainer. The person there was like, I became friends with the manager and he kind of heard a little bit about that I played sports and I had a sports medicine degree. And he's like, don't you want to be a trainer? And I'm like, no, that's not like a real job. Like I was supposed to be like a PT.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
He's like, I think you really like it because you get to help people move better, but like you're not in a gym or you're not in a clinic. I was like, okay, I'll try it. And then got hired on with the contingency that I show significant weight loss, which I think is illegal, but I was like, fuck you, I'm doing it. And within 6 months, I dropped the weight. And I went from literally the trainer that nobody wanted to train with because I was still overweight to having like a 3 month waiting list of people that wanted to train with me because they had seen me transform in 6 months. And so I became a trainer, crushed it at that, and started to look more gay. The gym started to feel really weird to the point where like I would just go to work and then go work out at home.
Mm.
Um, and that's where I was like, I can't be the only queer having this really shitty gym experience. And that's what led to my Google search of lesbian gym, lesbian personal trainer. And all Google gave me back at that time was porn. And so when Renee hit me up, she found me on Google and it wasn't porn. We came up. That was a huge, huge
Mm-hmm.
win.
When was this?
So I started the gym in 2010. So the Googling stuff probably happened around 2009, 2008.
Wow.
Yeah, so that gym, when I look back historically, that the gym opened up in 2010. I think the timing and the location of this happening was really important to what the gym became because 2010, gay marriage wasn't legal yet,
That's
right?
right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um, Pronouns, weren't a thing yet. The trans right movement wasn't a thing yet.
And you were
Um,
this was in
And
California at the
this,
time,
yeah,
right?
because it's Oakland.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that part of it was really important too because Oakland's always been a really progressive city, home of
Yeah.
the Black Panthers. And so
Yeah.
the community in Oakland was super supportive about what I was trying to do. And I think, the timing, the location, I think all of those, it caught the current of what was to come and a niche, I think is also what made it successful. And, a little spice in the marketing and just having fun with the marketing. I think that also made it what it became. So
What was your style of marketing? What did you do?
ironically, what I'm trying to circle it, ironically, it's what it is now, like be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And, because back then it was like, I remember getting back emails, like me writing an email and just talking shit and be like, fucking get in shape already, stop sitting on your ass, like just da da da, just like I'm talking to a friend
Yeah.
and getting back emails of like, you're so unprofessional. Why do you cuss in your emails? And I was like, because I fucking can, like anymore. And then as the gym grew and got more popular, the reality is that like the haters are really only like 10%. Everyone else is like into it.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so loud. And so that made me kind of like
Yeah.
creep, reside, I
You
creep
wind up,
back, retreat.
yeah.
And so when it got popular to be authentic and loud, I was like, but I have so much PTSD around that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even now, like currently, um, that's kind of one of the things I'm working on right now is like, how can I be more authentic, less apologetic? And I know people think that I'm already not that, but like I'm way more nuts than what I put out. And
Hmm.
so just trying to find the courage in that again.
But yeah, I want to go back though, for because I want to hear about the Thanksgiving Day again. When the first office that you got, that you moved into the room that you rented, and I believe it was some behavioral health
Yeah,
office. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I want to hear that again.
Yeah, that was my first location because I opened the gym basically with like a gift card, which got me like a mat, a rope, and like a dumbbell. And I was training people outside at the park, and the weather in the Bay got shitty. And
Yeah.
no matter how many YouTube inspirational videos people watch, they don't want to be training in the cold. So I was like, I need a place, but also like didn't have money, didn't know how to like get an office or like a rent lease a place. So on Craigslist, somebody was subleasing their office, and I went to go look at it. There was basically a therapy office with like a couch and like a lot more couches, and I just like threw my equipment in there, did a burpee, and I was like, bam, it's a gym now, bitch. And the lady that subleased to me, I was like, yeah, like I'll take it. Like, do you need to run my credit or like, like what happens next? And she's like, well,
Yeah.
here's the keys. I'm going to the city. I'll be back. It's Thanksgiving. Like, good vibes. Just here's the key. And I was like, so I think that for that Thanksgiving, I had a bottle of champagne and like KFC, and I like went to go have KFC in my champagne bottle at the location with like, I did it.
Yes, because I
I
love
love
that
it.
because I remember that feeling too when you were talking about that. Because when I had my first office, that was the same thing. I went in, you just sit on the floor and you're just kind of like soaking it in. You're like, hey, this is my place now.
Yeah,
And just so much possibility that is in front of you now that you have this office, this
yeah,
space. Yeah.
yeah.
How did you get like your first client? How did you like to convince them to go to the park and meet you there?
When you say it like that, it's hilarious because it was through Craigslist, right? So again, yeah, like there was no online dating. Like if you're queer looking for community, like you
Yeah.
went to the women's for women section on Craigslist.
Mm.
And so I put on there, the title was like lesbian personal trainer. Um, and that's how I got like my first maybe like 20 clients.
Wow.
Mostly newly single people. That wanted to get back in shape. And so, we met up at a coffee shop. We talked it out, and yeah, they would meet me at the park, or I would meet them at their house, and we just do a session, and that was it. So,
Nice.
Craigslist. You want to know a funny story about that?
Yes.
Yes, please.
So I don't know if when you guys were Googling stuff, if you guys ran across the Perfect Sidekick, which is actually the first, like the original name of the gym. It was the Perfect Sidekick LGBTQ gym.
Hmm.
And, so after I'm training a bunch of like newly single women,
Yeah.
I'm in my 20s and I'm like in my prime in the Bay Area feeling
Yeah.
cute. So like I'm going out, I'm coming back to stories like, oh my God, the club last night was so fun. And the clients were like, once they got training, they're feeling more confident. They're like, hey, so like I'm a little rusty. Can I go with you next time you go? And I was like, yeah, fucking come. And so that kept happening more and more. And I was like, I wonder if I could like charge for that.
I was gonna
Like,
say you coach. It sounds like
yeah, I was like, I wonder if I could like if people would pay for like a wingman. And I went back to Craigslist and I was like, lesbian wing woman for hire. And people would hire me for wing woman services. And I would take them down
wow.
to the Castro and I would meet up with them, be like, okay, here's how this works. $30 an hour, you pay for the covers, you pay for the drinks. Let's go meet you some girls. And that became a thing. And I was like, okay, so this is a thing people pay for. Like, what do
You're
I
a
call this?
personal dating like agent.
Yes.
To this day, I'm a pretty iconic wingman. I gotta say, I have such a good time just like having people connect.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's funny.
Um, so that was the name. So I was like, what do I call this? And I went to a meetup and we were doing introductions and somebody said, I'm like the perfect sidekick. Like, I'm not like the hero with the idea, but I'm like support behind it.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, because one of my core beliefs around training is that like I'm just there to help you. Like you're the superstar. Like I'm there to like support. So that part aligned. And then like the perfect sidekick, like that kind of goes. I was like, excuse me, sir, are you using that? Is that like the name of your website or something? He's like, no, I just made it up right now. And I was like, great, because I'm gonna name my business after that if you're cool with it. And he's like, yeah. So that's where the Perfect Sidekick LGBTQ gym came in from.
Ah,
And ultimately, when we got more legit and got like a tax ID number and insurance, the insurance for that piece of the business was like 5 times more.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we'll X that part out and I'll just make sure my clients are friendly, like
Yeah.
we'll just like have happy hours. But then ultimately, that was a tongue twister, like the Perfect Sidekick LGBTQ gym. Again, 2010, it wasn't really a thing yet. So
Yeah.
if I was to go to networking events, people were like, oh, so like the Perfect Sidekick, like a palm reader? And I'm like, no, like a
Oh.
superhero. And they're like, an LGBT, what? And I'm like, a gym for gay people. They're like, oh, oh. So one of my clients who had had a crazy transformation, he was in branding, and he's like, hey, like you transformed me, let me transform your brand. And he
Mm.
did a whole pitch on, the name, the design, the logo, the font, everything. And I was like, this is hot. And he's like, are we even now? And I was like, we're so even. Yeah, this is great. And so the queer gym, then the word queer became like something that we took back, which was,
Yeah.
derogatory before. And
Yes.
so very SEO friendly, very hashtag friendly. I don't have to, people don't think I'm a psychic reader anymore. So
I would never, that's so weird to go there. Like, yeah, okay.
it happened a lot. And I was like,
Sidekick,
no,
side
like
reader, yeah.
psychic. But so that's how I ended up with the queer gym.
That is cool. Awesome. Um, and then tell us a little bit, like that's where you started. And then this was it 2010 you started, you really got into your business through the teens. And then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
How did you transition? Like tell us that because
Like what
that was a cool story.
happened and
Yeah.
how you kind of had to morph that into what it is now.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. I mean, I would say definitely the first 3 years of the gym were like the most fun, like the most organic. Like I wasn't running Facebook ads. It was just like, we're gay, we're having fun, like come.
Mhm.
And then people would tell people. And I was also like out with my clients a lot. And we used to promote, like we used to have like info tables at gay clubs. So like we were fucking out, like we were out having a good time, waking up in the morning, working out. Like that was kind of like the marketing strategy, I guess. And around 2016 is when I learned like I got like a business coach that actually helped me make money. I learned Facebook ads, I learned pricing strategy. And so the gym really grew at that point, and it went through a couple of really different like iterations of it. Um, we started with private training 101, then we went to group training. A year before COVID, we had group, and we had a group was like 70% of our revenue, and then we had semi-privates. And this was at the tail end of like uh so this is like when CrossFit had started and like the boutique gyms,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when those types of gyms opened up, the boutique gyms, which is essentially what we were, like the big guys in the fitness industry, like the 24-hour fitness, whatever, they're just like, you guys are that's never going to work.
Hmm.
And then it did, and it took off. And so then when you start seeing the big guys adjust, meaning
Mm.
they were like creating CrossFit sections in their 24-hour fitness, or they were reworking the whole group classes to look more like CrossFit or boot camp classes, that was a big sign that like, okay, now everybody's in it. And now with the big guys come in it, they drive the price down a lot.
Yeah.
So going from being able to charge $200 a month to $99 a month, like for me to compete, I would need bigger space. I would need more equipment. And for
Yeah.
them, they have money. They don't really bother them. They just need to be competitive to some degree. So at that point, just more and more people were entering the space. Everything was competing, driving the price down. So that's when I was like, I just have a feeling that like group training is not where I want to compete. I think semi-private, I think I can hang on to that. I think I want to get rid of group training. And I think like I'm not really a fan of online, but like I think that has to be the thing. Like that's what I
Hmm.
have to like grow into. And so I was like, fuck it. Okay. Group training is ending in summer. So like we completely axed group training. We just kept the semi-privates. And I remember this because my dad was visiting me for Father's Day. And I was telling him what I was doing, and he's like, wait, so you're going to get rid of all your money making stuff and hope that online works out? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's so dumb. I'm like, I don't know. I just have a feeling. And he's like, here you go again with your feelings. And I remember we got down to like 17 clients, and I was like, oh fuck, like this is not good. And then like COVID happened. And so we already had like the bones of an online offer, of a
Mm.
virtual offer. We just didn't have the demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
So when COVID happened, because we already had the structure, the bones of it, COVID, we went from 17 clients to like 250 in like a couple months. And so
Wow.
that was in like March. Um, and so our lease was up in June, and we're like, fuck it. Okay, we're online. And a part of that was because like one of the cool things is that we were able to help more queers. Like on a mission level, it made a lot of sense because we were able to help more queers that needed more help because they were like living in like buttfuck Egypt. They're
Yeah.
not in New York, not in LA, they're not in the big like more open place. So that was really cool. And we were able to maintain the community piece, the connection piece that I saw a lot of other gyms that were trying to do virtual like completely fuck it up. So I was like, okay, we can help more people. We're still able to maintain the community. We're still able to, because our workouts are live on Zoom, so it's no different than like if they went to the gym, right? So that checked out. And then on the business standpoint, because we were able to market wider, our cost for marketing went down a lot because we didn't have to pay for the lease, utilities, toilet paper. The cost went significantly down. And I was like, there's literally like no downside to this. Because the downside is usually like the connection piece.
Mm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we know the shit out of that. So we're just going to stay online. And so that's how we pivoted online. But then the next thing that fucked me up was that running a team, a company online is very different than running it virtually or in person.
How?
And you know, the good thing is that a lot of people wanted to work because working from home was in, right? It was like
Mm-hmm.
the new thing. It was really popular,
Right.
but nobody counted on how bad people are at working from home because when you're at home, you have more freedom. But with
Mm-hmm.
more freedom comes more responsibility. So like this blows my mind. I don't know, but like you okay, you can roll out of bed and jump right into a meeting. That's fine, but like, don't look like it. Like, wipe the eye boogers out of your face. Like,
Comb your hair.
comb your fucking
Put put
hair.
put
Like,
some clothes on from the waist down.
yeah, like have a couple sips of coffee here.
Yeah.
Um, and so I went through a learning curve of like how to lead a team
Mm.
that way. And I think I did good enough to like have grown it to, that was in 2020 when that happened. I think we were like at about a quarter, about 500,000 in sales. And then 3 years after we hit our first $1 million year.
Ooh.
So I think I got it.
Wow.
I got good enough to do that, but I didn't get good enough to sustain it. Right. So like I
Okay.
got good enough to like grow, but because it was good enough and not great, I created I scaled a problem. So a big part of the problem was, they say that like companies usually implode from the inside, and that's very much what happened. Um, I kept around. I promoted A players to manage B players when I should have just gotten rid of B players because A players don't need managing.
Uh,
Ooh. I like that. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
How many people was
We
on your
had a
team?
team total 18. So from coaches to people who ran the ads, operations managers, sales teams, and we were about 350 clients at the time. So it was like it was too big to clean up. It was one of those things where I just had to like burn it to the ground and start over in 24.
So as you were starting the business and started with the brick and mortar and then
Mm-hmm.
transitioned to online, how did you figure things out as you went along? How did you like learn what you need to do was trial and error? Like how what got you to
That was
grow
fun.
as well as you
Did
did?
you consult with anybody, or was this kind of like a solo
No,
or
because it was new
team?
for everybody. Everybody sucked at
Yeah.
it. So
Okay.
like one big one was like learning Zoom. Like I just sat down and like YouTube the shit out of like how to use Zoom, all the functions, what it can't do. That was a big one because that was like the tool we had to deliver the service. So like you got to learn how to actually fucking use all the shit in Zoom.
Yeah.
And the other thing was that we had a meeting where I told everybody on the team, like, here's the business credit card. Go sign up for all the virtual shit you can find, and then come back with like the best shit. And we're gonna put this together based on the best shit. And literally, people came back and they're like, what we're doing is better. Like we are the best delivery of service. Because I think at that point, a lot of the people that were trying to do it online were just fucking lazy. Like, oh, I'm gonna record a workout and send it to you guys, and you guys do it. You fucking know damn well they're not gonna fucking do that workout,
Yeah.
right?
Or they're going to half-ass it.
Yeah, like there was just a lot of like that laziness, and then the real opportunity I think gyms missed is in like, okay, think about this, right? It's COVID, okay, January 6th, Trump, okay, mental health fucked up, physical health fucked up, and we're all isolated. Like, what do
Yes.
people need in that moment more than a fucking burpee? Community.
Connection.
And so that's the part that like we basically did the same fucking workouts, but the delivery of it was different because we're delivering it through Zoom. And we know that like, okay, yes, but like we got to throw in there a lot of community.
Yeah.
So our workouts are not like you go on Zoom and you're on mute. Like everybody's camera is on, unmute it. We jump into the workout. We started off with the introduction. So name, pronoun, and then we have some sort of prompt that isn't usually not fitness related. It's something funny, gay related. I don't know, but it's not always just like, what do you eat? What's your protein goal? You know, like no one fucking cares.
Making it fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go into our first section of the workout. And you know how when you go to a gym and you finish a section and then you have like a water break?
Yeah.
So our version of a water break is we basically send everybody to a breakout room. And okay, you guys have 2 minutes to catch your breath, talk shit about how much you hated that workout, and then come back pretending like you weren't talking shit about that workout. Okay.
I love it.
And so that was just like the equivalent of them going to get some water,
But you
having some
didn't
water cooler
release them
talk.
because then they might not come back.
That's a good thing though. They always come back.
Yeah.
But one of the things we always hear to this day is they're like, that's not enough time. Like they just want to go and like hang out and connect.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we also did virtual events. So we just got really like I remember our email to the clients were like, okay, so we're doing this thing online. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. Okay, but we're gonna have fun. We're gonna figure this out together. If it sucks, tell us. If you love it, tell us. But like, we don't know what we're doing. We just want to be gay and have fun.
That's quite honest.
That's like that's what's going on. And so through that, like, yeah, like we brought in like a drag queen to teach people how to do drag. And then we had like a client drag show for people that always wanted to try drag. And then like we did that.
Oh my God.
Pets and plants. People love talking about their pets and plants. We had one last night. We did fashion show because we only see each other in like workout clothes and we don't know what we look like when we go to work or on date night or whatever. So everybody comes on and we have like the category, and like the category is first date. And so everybody gets 5 minutes to go like put on what they would put on for a first date. And then we have to do a catwalk. And then we use the poll function on Zoom so everybody votes. And then like I give out a cash prize for that category. And it's a blast. And so we just did a lot more. Like we do it now once a month, but when COVID was going on, we were doing that like every 3 days. Like just something fucking wild out there that was just like, I have to go to this to see.
I don't know any
happen.
gym membership or health organization that does stuff like this.
Yeah, that's why, like I cannot imagine like, okay, you know how gyms, well maybe you don't, but like gyms at the end of the month when they need to hit their sales goals, they have like a blowout sale or like a big event or something, right? So I was like, I remember this is how I came up with Pain and Champagne because I was like, I came from a corporate gym background, so I was like, we need like a thing, like a event or something. And I was like, what if we did like a free class, but like that's fucking lame. Like queers love champagne, lesbians, kind of rhymes. And I was like, Pain and Champagne and lesbians, that's the event. And so that became our monthly party. And it literally, like, I think our biggest one had like over 100 people show up. And it was literally like a workout to a popular queer DJ that was popping at that time. And then I would bring in a bartender and they would just serve champagne after. And it's supposed to be a queer party or a queer event. And it ended up becoming like a queer monthly party that just like, when is Pain and Champagne again? And
so fun.
So it sounds
That's
like, is it
that's
an
taken a
international platform that you're in? Like, is it people all
Most of
over?
our clients are US based. We've had we have had clients in Mexico, Canada, um, Iran. I remember because it was somebody that had
Mm,
to move there for work or something, and they're just like, I'm not trying to be gay out here. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So we've had a good handful now of like international clients, but for the most part, it's US based.
Mm.
And I've also thought about that. I'm like, if this whole Trump shit gets real crazy, guess what, bitch? I speak Spanish. You could be like the queer gym in Espanol. Just run my ads in Mexico. So it's like Trump proofed, you know?
That's actually really that's actually a really strong statement because it's not just Trump proof, but it's also economic proof in a way. Like
Hmm.
you have burst out, you can move your company to another country if you need to, which I think is kind of a fear for some of us right now as well. Like what's going to
Yep.
happen with the economy? What are we going to do as owners? And I think that's awesome.
You
Yeah.
also seem to
Yeah.
be like always thinking because you're always ahead
Hmm.
because I'm hearing from even the beginning of your story like how you've been so far ahead of everyone else. Like you were already in it. Like we're queer. You were already dealing with all of that. And then it's like when it came on board, like you are a trailblazer. So like
Hmm.
even with the virtual, like we are it. We are the ones that are best at making this work. So it seems like you've always been looking like 5, 15 steps ahead of everyone else. I mean, the wingman, it's brilliant. It's like, okay.
That was so fun.
You
That was a
you've
good
been
phase.
you were genuinely authentic and I still got to make a living. So and clients willing. They have a need and I can give that need and they enjoy my company and but you seem to beautifully bring the two together because it's
Hmm.
not trans what I feel like it hasn't been transactional. A lot of things is like transactional, but for
Hmm.
you, the way you bring in, that's why it doesn't surprise me you had so many people sign on with you and keep wanting to stick around and extend out is nothing seemed transactional with you because you just brought your whole self forward and made a living out of it too, and then kept going and moving as things you were just noticing things and you got so ahead of it, which is quite impressive.
I think for me, and this is something that like I didn't like name till 2 years ago because I didn't think it was. I thought it was too unserious for it to be like a value, like a life value. I was
Mm.
like, fun's fun's kind of silly as a value, you know? Like
Mm.
it didn't like sit right. But when I look at, the time that the gym's been open, the funnest years, the not even say fun, but like the most aligned years were like those first 3 years where I was just like having fun.
Yeah.
The more stressful ones was when I wasn't having fun. And ultimately, like, I think, yeah, 2 years ago when I was like, no, like fun is like kind of like a non-negotiable for me. Like I'm not willing to
Hmm.
jeopardize or like sacrifice fun. And I know it sounds silly, but maybe that's the problem with the world. Y'all ain't having fun.
Yeah, that's a
Like,
value. I don't think it should be on the list of we're
yeah.
working so
So
hard to be happy and joyful and stuff. Well, geez, bring some fun into it.
yeah. Yeah. So I was just like, you know what? It is like that's a value. That is what it is. And when I was rebuilding in 24, one of the things that I like worked on first was like, what's my mission? What are my values? And that was like on the list. And for the first, since 24, 25, and I was rebuilding, it was pretty much me. And then like I had one employee. And then this January we hired, so now there's just four of us in the company. And I was like, oh fuck. I was like, we're a team again. We need company values. It has a mission, it's never
Mhm.
changed. Happy, healthy homos. But like as a company, I didn't sit down to make values because I was like, too soon. Let me like get my shit back together fully before I think about a team. Because I had so much PTSD from my last team.
Yeah.
Let me see what's up. And so we had our first quarterly meeting 2 weeks ago. And we identified the values as be gay, which is an acronym for grow and align yourself. So be gay, have fun, keep it simple. Like, that's how we ride.
I love
And
it.
so yeah, I think a lot of it has just been like fun. And the newest iteration to the gym, we went from a brick and mortar to virtual,
Hmm.
and now I'm using the word hybrid a lot. And hybrid came from when we were fully virtual. People were like, "Oh, we should do like a retreat, or we should do like a meetup." And we tried it. It was fucking terrible. Like we would do retreats with clients, and then people would start drinking too much, and then responsible and liable. And I was like,
Oh, okay.
no. We tried retreats with staff, and there's like some hookups, and I had to fire people, and I was
Oh,
like,
that's messed
so
up.
when my first employee when I was rebuilding brought it up, I was like, absolutely fucking not. And she's like, but it would be so much fun. I was like, no, firing people and trying to find drunk people, not fun. No, not
Yeah.
fun. And she's like, and she brought it up a couple of times, and one time she finally set up a meeting and was like, so I'm gonna pitch you. I'm like, God damn it. And she had basically already planned the whole thing out. And she's like, all I need is yes and a credit card. God damn it.
Yes, a
And
credit card.
so I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. I don't want to do any of it. Like, I'm just going to show up. I'm like, and everybody needs to sign a no ratchet clause. No drinking irresponsibly, no hooking up, no flirting with the trainers, like mature
Love the title,
adults,
No Ratchet Clause.
no ratchet clause. And I did make every fucking person sign that shit. I'm like, we're signing this, okay?
Yeah.
And it ended up being an amazing experience. 10 queers in Panama for a week, no drama.
Mm-hmm.
We crushed it. But during that trip, I was able to see things that I couldn't see online. I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you an example. I'll give you two. There's a client that I've been working for almost 2 years. So I've gotten to know them pretty well. We've gone through like a lot of shit together. And we got there, and I was like being an uncle, and I got really tired. So I took a nap on the hammock. I woke up, everybody was at the bar. I go over there, and I just see this client like go up to the bar like 3 times. And like the time I'm drinking one drink, and I'm like, you signed a ratchet clause. Like, what are you doing? So I pull them over to the side, and they're like, I'm just like really socially anxious right now. And like, I'm like, and you're drinking to cope. Got it. Okay. And so I pulled her aside, and I was like, okay, so like, how do we want to? So my wingman hat came on, and I was like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
nobody wants to sloppy drunk. Let's chill out, go get some water. Like, let's kind of ease you into the conversation. Like, and like from that moment on, like they were on a different level the rest of the trip. Um, or I had another client that like I was surprised came to the trip because they were usually like pretty quiet and chill. And I was like, oh, they're coming? Okay. And when I learned about like how they were raised, and just like they didn't really feel a whole lot of like acceptance or love ever.
Mm.
Um, and then just being like, like we give a fuck about you, and like just seeing the walls come down, and then being open to trying new things. I was like, fuck, like we got to keep doing these because of those things, those moments. And so this year we've been more active with doing every other month. We do an in real life meetup. So wherever there's a cluster of clients, I'll go out there basically for a weekend, and we'll spend the day together. We'll go play pickleball. We'll go out to lunch. We'll go out to a bar, and just like bring everybody together for the day, like on the gym, just for them to hang out. So we did the Bay Area, we done Seattle, we done DC, we did Long Beach. Our next one is going to be in Minnesota. And then we do one big retreat a year now. And the next one's going to be in June, where 10 clients are coming over to Salt Lake City. I'm going to take them to it's a hot springs. It's a hike that ends on like these awesome hot springs in the mountain, going to Pride together. Um, and so that's been the latest pivot, is like hybrid. We do our work online, but then we
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
party in real life. We hang out in real life. We connect in real life.
So you
And
got a lot of clients in Phoenix. You coming to Phoenix anytime soon?
I was in Phoenix. Actually, I was in Phoenix last weekend, but like that was like a personal trip. But yeah, we have clients like everywhere.
Well, next
And
time you come down,
people,
you gotta let me know.
yeah, and
Because
people are
yes,
like willing
okay.
to come and like drive a little bit to meet up with us. So
Mm-hmm.
and that's where Pain and Champagne has been fucking pulling at me. It's like, hey, bitch, remember me? I want to come back out and play. And so I've been thinking about potentially, when we do these in real life meetups, treat it as a marketing event where I can link up with the party promoter. We can run out a gym, and we can bring back Pain and Champagne.
I think that's
Nice.
excellent idea.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be awesome?
That would be awesome.
Yes.
You don't hear that. I mean, just saying pain and champagne, the curiosity around, I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the people be like, I gotta go. I gotta just see what
What
this
is
is
that?
about. I can
Yeah.
always run away if it gets too scary, but I gotta go check it out.
Well, that's our son. This is too short.
Too
We named them
short.
after Oakland.
Oh,
Too
This is our
short.
honor. We named them after Oakland.
Yes, yes, yes. That is an
Like, this is
omen.
a
Cute.
camera shot. Like, he won't look at the camera. Look at the
He's
kid.
all like, oh, let me down.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's too short.
love it.
Right here.
Cute.
Okay.
Cute.
Um.
Sure.
Oh, so I was saying, like, our, because you said the curiosity, and that is our tagline. Like, the tagline is, you're curious. You gave me another good idea. So one of our virtual happy hour things that we do is speed homies, which is like speed dating but for friends. And it would be cool if we did pain and champagne. So like workout, champagne mixer, and then speed homies. So like speed dating but for friends. We can add that in there.
Oh my gosh, I would
I love that because,
I would go to every one of those events because I am constantly looking
and it's
at a
just
freaking bird in the mother. Are you my mother? Are you my friend? Are you?
but I
Yeah.
think it's just great because, like, especially the speed homie, it's like
Yeah,
life happens. Like, I've got so much on my plate, and Lena keeps trying to get me out, and I'm like, no,
I
I'm just
know.
gonna go
She
home.
just,
I'm just gonna go home. But so then that way my friend circle is very small, and I'm like, how do I meet more friends? Well, I need to go out, but I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go home. But that would be something I would totally go to because I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's so again, just fun, like fun shit I want to do, or like
yeah,
oh my gosh, that would be so
nice.
that's
fun.
a
So
But
fun.
superpower.
kind of listening to all this, like what I admire is you've got the entrepreneur spirit, definitely, but you don't just think of things, you make them happen.
Yeah.
And then you pivot when you need to and still make it happen. It's like I have all these ideas, but then I get stuck in the mud, whereas you have these ideas and boof, it grows. And to me, that's really fascinating to watch you go through all this and hear this story, hear your story.
Yeah. Like what keeps it going? Like, because exactly like Renee said, we have ideas and then it's like we sit on, like a lot of us, me included, sit on it because then I think fear sets in or doubt sets in. And it's like, I don't even know where to start. But it's usually like when you take in the shower, or you're in the bathroom on the commode, it keeps coming. You're like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And then I don't do anything with it.
Mhm.
So,
Well, I think everything works if you work it. So, like, you want to grow your business. Okay, Facebook ads work, content work, email marketing works, YouTube works, flyers work, podcast, everything works if you work it.
Mhm.
The work it part, short, touches with all of us. Come here, short. Snack time for you, sir. That's his favorite word, not bitch. It's snack. Get your ball, get your ball. Okay, here, you're gonna have to dig into the couch and get it. That keeps being the thing. Call it hunting. You have to go hunting. Yeah, so like everything works if you work it. The problem is people don't work it
mm,
or they don't work it long enough.
yeah.
Like I recently celebrated my 1 year consistently emailing anniversary because I wanted to get good at emails. So I was like, okay, first 6 months, the goal is just to fucking email my list twice a week. That's the goal. That's it. And then I did it for 6 months and I was like, okay, now the next goal is to improve my open rate. So I cracked that. Okay, so now I'm consistent. I got good open rates, but then nobody is clicking through like the links. So
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, I got to work on that. So it's like everything works if you work it. Consistency is the first step. And then just like pick one metric to measure and then just fucking be patient.
I like
Like,
that. I feel like I need to put that on a t-shirt.
Just fucking be patient. Those
just
exact
fucking be
words.
patient. Just fucking be patient. Yeah. Like, consistency and patience are like amazing superpowers. And if you have both of them, no one's fucking with you. Like, imagine that. This person's super fucking consistent and very fucking patient. Tell me one thing this motherfucker can't do. Like, that is crazy.
Nice.
Well, you're
Eh,
living proof. I mean,
yeah.
look how many times, like when you said 2024, you just kind of started all of, does that mean that you got rid of the team and then you just started from scratch? Or,
Y'all, literally, oh man, that was a shitty time. Literally like middle of December, let go of the whole team. Um, we tried to save some clients, but they were all pissed off because the hard part about a service business is that like, especially when at scale, like they're not connected to me. They're connected to their coach.
Hmm.
yeah.
And they're always gonna sometimes you hear the problem from the problem.
Mm.
And so it's like, hey, well, they also didn't tell you that I had to replace their entire roster twice a year. For 18 coaches, that's $750,000 because they can't retain a fucking client.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm letting them go, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so at that point, I was just like, you know what? Like everybody can go. Fuck your contract, take your money, do a chargeback, refund it. Like just go. Everybody just, it was too big. I was too disconnected from like the client.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um, and so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna start over, and everyone's gonna root against me because I'm the bad guy right now. But also like I'm so fucking unhappy.
Yeah.
Like I would cry in my morning because I was like, another fucking day of like having to do this. I was overweight, I was depressed, I was anxious. I had gone through a divorce as well a couple months before that. I had just moved to Utah with my wife at the time. We had divorced, dead winter here. I'm like, this sucks ass. I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm just gonna blow it up because even if it doesn't work out, at least I won't not be happy. Like I'll take that if nothing else. Um,
Wow.
so I remember like in December, I think we had made like 100,000 in sales that basically all got refunded. So that's how I ended up with 80,000 of debt come January 1st of 24. And my first month rebuilding in January, I made $4,000. So I was like, so everything, my ego was fucked up, my accounts were fucked up, my credit was fucked up, my mental health was fucked up. And so, then I was like, fuck,
What got you
okay.
through it? Like, what is it? What you just said?
Well, first thing I did is like basically try to cut as many expenses as I could. Then I had to change my environment because I said it was winter. I was living by myself. I had moved here with my wife that we're no longer together. Um, like the crowd around me was like doing too much, and I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. So I moved back home just because I knew I needed to have like support around me.
Yeah.
So that was a huge, huge, huge help. And then I had to decide if I wanted to, you know, start a new business or maybe go into a different type of industry. And it was one of those things where it was like everything works if you work it. This is what you know. By the time that you learn a new skill, a new field, a new niche, a new industry, like you could probably build this shit back up faster than it takes you to acquire a whole new skill.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So just stick to this one. And so I did, and I basically got to implement all the ideas that were in my head that I couldn't implement because the business was too big to just completely change the model. One of those ideas was like, what? Actually, this is the first thing I did. I was like, I've always wanted to do this. I think this is going to work. And I think because it works is why gyms don't do it. Because gyms are not in the business to actually fucking help you. They make money when you don't show up. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
don't show up, they can
Mm-hmm.
sell unlimited
The
memberships because
contracts they have.
motherfuckers ain't going to show up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's probably why they're not doing it because it fucking works. And so what I did is I remodeled my basic membership, and it's basically $249 a month for online virtual classes. And if you come to 12 workouts a month, so it averages out to about three a week, you get a $100 discount. So it's only 149.
Nice incentive.
And so what that meant is that thing was so awesome. Yay me. One of those things was like, okay, people were signing up for that membership, but canceling after 3 months. So long, LTV, the client was around for 3 months. And usually what would happen is they sign up, they're super excited,
Yeah.
and then they come less in month two. By month three, they're not really there. I'm calling
Mm-hmm.
them to book
Is this
them.
January
Hey, book a
1st? Yeah.
classes, book a class, book a class, book a class.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm gonna have to cancel. So like me calling them to book a class ended up me processing a cancellation every fucking time.
Mm.
And so I was like, they don't stick with it long enough they don't have the patience to get the benefit, to get hooked on the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
They care about saving money. So what if I just stop going against the grain and realign the membership to just meet them where they're at? So it's $249. If you come 3 times a week, you get $100 off, and it's only $149. So they feel like they got a deal. They feel good because they're actually working out. They're building community because of how like communal we are.
Yeah.
So now the average client stays for 10 months on that membership. And that I looked at that like 6 months ago. And honestly, it's probably more than that now because we have clients that are celebrating 2 years, probably more than that.
Impressive.
Wow. That's nice. Yes.
The other awesome part that I hated doing was like having to call people to like book and then having to cancel. That doesn't happen anymore. And every Sunday and Wednesday, we contact every client who hasn't booked the class. We're like, hey, oh yeah, I forgot after church, I forgot to book the class. Great, Monday or Tuesday. And then by Wednesday, if they still haven't booked, then we like really call them and get them booked up. So we retain like 93% of the clients every month, and they stay an average of 10 months now versus 3 months.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
If I had
Before,
someone calling me to remind me to, hey, we haven't seen, like genuinely call me and ask. For me, I think as a person, I'd be like, oh, you noticed. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know, maybe it's just me, but I'd be like,
no,
okay,
that's
yeah, I'll
true.
be there. Like, it's just like I got like you cared enough to call me and check in on me genuinely. And that alone for me, I think that would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show up because they took the time to call me and notice I was gone.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's something that, like we have the system set up like in terms of like when the client signs up, I send them like a handwritten note card, some stickers. We record their birthdays, we celebrate them, we have them fill out like a list of shit you like. And it's just like your pet's name, your kids' names, you know, like your favorite stores, your favorite whatever.
Personalizing, yeah.
And so like that's something that like we have the systems in place for, but like that's something that I want to like I kind of want to fuck around and be like, what if I stop marketing completely and just love up on the like obsess over the clients? Like, wouldn't that be a cool experiment?
I'm a cat, give me more. Look at my dog.
Wouldn't that be so
Too
cool?
short, just give me more.
Okay, sure, no more. That's a lot of snacks. Yeah, like I think that'd be a really cool experiment.
Interesting. Yes.
I really do, especially this day and age with community. Like you honed in on something, and especially with, I think we're still suffering from it. Just even with the advance of technology and everything else, on top of the pandemic, and it's just that community.
Hmm.
People are so hungry for it, and
Hmm.
sometimes I don't think they even are understanding how undernourished they are with the lack of the social, because that is such an important nutrient. I think a soul nutrient. um,
I like
that we,
that.
who talks like I'm guilty of it. I don't know my neighbor across. It's like two steps. Like I could look in their window and they can look at mine, but I couldn't, And probably back in the day, it's like being on the block, block parties and
Yeah,
stuff like that. You walk around, everybody was sitting on the porch and say hi. You all knew each other in a certain way. We don't have that. So I think that is that in itself is like a real neat, subtle marketing
yeah,
technique.
Hmm.
yeah,
You are
yeah. It's
meeting
weird.
them. That's why I believe, that's why nothing you say and how you do things, it goes back to me, it's like it doesn't seem transactional at all. It's such a personalization that you're feeling that you're recognizing a huge need there and you're feeling it. I think that's
You
beautiful.
know, it like it feels good. Like it it like fills up my like fulfillment and like purpose.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it also just happens to also fill my wallet.
Yeah.
Like both can be true. I'm a big fan of and.
You went
I'm like, how
back to your
can
roots, girl. You were like that wingman, and I can do
yeah,
this as a
we can
living
do
because
both.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I find, it's also like that when you just made the comment about, well, if I stop marketing and just love up on my clients, what would that be like? But that goes back to, and you said this, and I have to bring this up. You said this in that interview when I interviewed you a couple of years ago, and I was listening to it just the other day because I was like, let me check this out again. And you had this phrase that you said it just at the right time. And I actually said it to myself later in the day, but you were like, when you started the whole brick and mortar, you were like, just fuck it. And you just went with it. So the fact that, and so of course, later in the day, I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to do this. And so I did, thanks to you. So thank you. But,
Yeah.
that just, you have these ideas. You're like, just fuck it. I'm just going to do this and we're going to see what happens because I am feeling this, and this is the direction I want to go because it's making me happier. I'm doing what I want to do, and it's paying my bills at the same time, but it's making me a happier person. So I assume you're no longer waking up and crying first thing in the morning, like you just said, that you're waking up more optimistic, like this is right. This is just the right path. Yeah.
Yeah. This time around, I rebuilt everything in 2024. And like I was right. Like I said, by the time I figure out a whole new thing, I can probably build this up faster. And I remember this because I remember when it took me 3 years to hit the $10,000 a month revenue goal or like
Mm.
mark.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that because I remember like driving around Oakland Lake Merritt and calling my friend and be like, "Oh my God, I did it! We made 10,000 this month." That's how I remember it. And when I rebuilt it, it took me 3 months to do it versus 3 years. So I was like, "Oh shit,
Wow.
okay." I paid off. I was able to pay off all the 80,000 of debt. I finished paying it off in January, so it took me a year to pay it all off. Um, and now that the debt's paid off, the gym is stable, profitable. I said that like I wanted to rebuild this thing around like joy, but like my personal mission is moments over metrics. Because I was really like metric
Mm.
driven, and that
Mm-hmm.
was helpful till it wasn't. And it, seeing my family hold me down through that. My parents turned 80. My mom got diagnosed with Alzheimer's last summer.
Um,
Um, and so, these are almost like, you know what? Like, I have time and money and joy now. And like, I'm just going to use those resources to just like hang out with my mom and go home often and spoil them. And that's where the Cancun trip came from. I was like, okay, you guys want to go to Cancun? Let's go to Cancun for the week, And like, I couldn't have done that when I had like the big company. So just now, everything just like keep it gay, keep it simple, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's where it's at now. So
yeah.
And Lena brought up this quote just along that line. And I know Lena brought it up earlier is I don't know if you want to say it.
Oh,
The
her
best way
line?
to yeah, the second. Yeah, she
Yes.
quoted you,
So I was
Lorena.
reading through your stuff, and it was an article from Be Latina back in 2022. And I was at work and I was giggling. I gotta write this down. And you said, the best way we describe our workouts is if you can imagine a fitness class and a drag show having a baby. That's kind of what the workout is. And I was like, I want to go to that. That's how you're going to get me to show up because I hate boring exercise. That's what I want to do. So I absolutely love it. And my son, because it's like, Charlie, you got to check out the queer gym. And my son's in the Seattle area. And your vibe reminds me of him because he's just, people just gravitate toward him and he is his own self. And I was like, because he was trying to figure out how to work out and stuff. And he's just like, I can't stand these grunters at the gym, mom. Drag shows. Like that's where I find my happiness and joy. Like I need that was my depression lifter. Is like, where's the drag show? I want to go because
Mm-hmm.
it's so fun, so fun. But yeah, I love that quote. I love when you said that.
I made a bet. I'll make an ass of myself to get my clients to do something that's good for them. And I made a bet. I forgot what I lost, but like I made a bet that I was like, oh, if you guys do, I think it was the time it was like 300 workouts, like as a team, like as a gym, um, I'll do drag, like I'll do girl drag. And I was like, there's no fucking way. That's a lot. That's a lot of workouts. And they fucking did it. I was like, God damn it. Damn it. So if I do something, I'm gonna like do it. So I hired a local drag queen to come to my apartment and give me like full wig, makeup,
Whoa.
the whole thing. And I after that, like my respect for like the drag game went like 1,000% because I was just like, I am so hot. I can't fucking move.
Yeah,
Like, how do y'all do the splits on stage and
it's
all
a
this
lot
shit?
of
Like,
work.
holy shit.
It's a whole
Holy
production.
shit. Yeah. It's I just I can't even. Like I can't, I did it one time for 3 hours and then I had to perform it, right? So like I kicked my wife out and I was like, can you just go somewhere? Like I just feel so awkward you staring at me like in full drag because I had to perform the Shakira song. So like
Oh, you gotta
I
move
had
your
the little shorts and the fucking and the long hair and like I remember my wife knocked. She's like, "Are you done? Can I come in yet?" And I opened the door and I'm just like drenched. She's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Help me get out of this." So yeah, my poor wife. The embarrassing thing she's seen me do just to get queers to work out.
But it works. It worked.
It worked.
Worked.
It worked.
All right. Well, we like to ask
Yeah.
one question of everyone who comes on, if you could speak to your younger self at the start of this amazing journey that you had and still having, what would you say to her?
What's coming to mind, if I'm going to be authentic about it,
Mm-hmm.
is fuck
Please.
them.
Yeah.
And by fuck them, I mean like the people that are influencing you to not be yourself. Like
Fuck them.
the more that you can stay aligned with like the essence that you were born with,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
the happier you're gonna be. Because I feel like
Yeah.
that's what it is, right? Like you're a kid,
Yep.
the world fucks with you,
Yep.
you become this like grumpy ass adult, and then
Yep.
you spend second half of your life trying to get back that essence.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
So
that's
I
great.
mean,
Yeah.
it goes nicely with fuck it, right? Fuck it, and then fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
And
tell
I
that
love
to my
dropping the
friends all the
F-bomb.
time. I was like, fuck them. Who cares? Who gives a
Mm-hmm.
shit? Like,
Yeah.
you be you.
It low key pisses me off that that's a thing now. Be authentic. I'm like, fuck you guys. I was trying to do that shit forever, and you guys been shitting
I
on
know.
me. Now it's a fucking
You should
trend.
trade.
Get the fuck
You
out.
should trademark that shit, girl. You
Yeah,
would have been paid.
yeah. I was like, fucking assholes. All that therapy for nothing. Can't.
So where can everyone find you?
I'm on the streets of Instagram. It's mostly where I spend my days.
Streets of
Okay.
Instagram. I like
And
that.
that's the queer gym?
Yep, the queer gym
Yeah, I was gonna say I just had it up. Yep,
at
the
the
queer
queer
gym.
gym.
Because I saw that one post. I was just looking at it earlier about now I can't even now it won't even show me everything. Um about your story. And I'm like, this is such an amazing story. You clipped it, just the cliff notes of it. And it was really cool. Okay, so you can definitely be seen at the queer gym and then your website's thequeergym.com.
Yep.
And it's so much fun. It's so much fun watching your clips. So
Just wait. I'm in this next month. I'm creating my own challenge. I'm calling it the raw dogging challenge, where like I'm not gonna worry about editing my shit. I'm just gonna whip my phone out and just say what the fuck I'm thinking. So this is my experiment, me leaning into like just
getting back into your essence. Yeah.
fuck them.
Okay. Awesome. Great. Well, thank you again
Yeah.
so much. I love having you on. We both love having you on.
Yeah, I had a great time. I always get a little nervous doing this, and I actually stopped doing them for a while just because like there's some other PTSD around just that. And
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
I took a long break from it. Um, and I've been like, as I basically have not been saying no when people invite me. I'm like, just say yes, fuck do it, just yes. But I've been finding it really helpful, like really healing. Because I don't often like sit there and talk about, how it started, to take the time to like tell the story and be like, damn, like shit's been crazy, like
Mm.
did all that. So like being on the other side of things now, I'm like, these conversations are actually really healing for me. Of just like, we're still here though, still rocking
Hmm.
it,
Yeah.
still having fun. So thank you for the opportunity to
No, I mean,
have me come
thank you
on
for
and
coming on. We are just, I mean, I'm super grateful. I'm glad I met you. You're just so much fun. And
look at this guy.
Oh, look at oh, and he looked away as
I
soon
know,
as you
I
moved
know.
the
I
cat.
was like, I don't know why got quiet. I was like, oh, maybe he'll trying to trick them or something.
It's like
Yeah,
he knows. He knows.
He's like, you can't trick me. I'm too short.
just look for that.
But yeah, thank you for coming on and sharing your story. And um, it was really cool. Really, really cool. Yeah,
I
I
better
got the
see y'all at
giggles.
the next pain and champagne.
Yes.
Yes. You got to keep us informed. Yes.
Please, 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 please.
And
Will
yes,
do.
definitely if you get back into Phoenix,
Yeah.
hit me up.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even
I
if
gotta
you're
time it with
like,
the
I don't
sun.
know, even a state over, be like, we're over
Yeah.
here, or even
Are
back in
are
Southern Cali or somewhere.
both of y'all in Phoenix?
But we're both actually currently in Tucson,
Tucson.
and I'm in
We're,
Phoenix
we're
half
Okay.
the
for,
time because that's still my home base. I'm going back and
Ah,
forth.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So both of y'all in Arizona.
Yes.
but I will
Okay.
drive wherever. Like
Like, let's
if it's
go. Road
interesting,
trip.
I will make myself over there. So, all right.
Yes.
All
All
right, I will do
right.
that.
All right. Well, keep doing what you're doing and keep kicking ass and taking names and fuck it. Fuck them all. Be
Fuck
you.
it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening
Yeah.
again. And until next time,
Yeah. Thanks.
Peace.
Bye.
bye.